Welcome to On Air with Kash. Our guest today is an actress, singer, and filmmaker. She recently wrapped the sixth feature film that she directed. Please welcome Brittany Underwood.
Hello.
Brittany, it is so great to have you on the show today. I know we've been running in mutual circles and worked on some of the same projects, but have not shared screen time together. We're changing that habit now by having you on the show.
Yes. Awesome. I'm so excited for this. Thank you for having me.
I got to admit, I've been a fan since Hollywood Heights. That was actually a guilty pleasure of mine when it came out.
Oh my God, that was such a sweet, dear project of mine. Like it still gives me all the feels.
Growing up in the 90s and 2000s, it was like all the Nick shows we watched were coming on at night. And I'm like, wait, what's this new thing? And then it just reminded me of those early Nick shows, like 90210. You sang in this.
Yeah, it was really great because when they started telling me that my character was going to be like writing the songs on the show, I was like, okay, well, give me the songs ahead of time. And I enlisted the help of my musician friends. One of my friends was in the band Lifehouse. So not to like name drop it, I thought it was super cool at the time. He is so awesome and so talented. And I was like, hey, can you like teach me how to play this song on guitar? And he was like, no problem. So he like sat me down and coached me through it so that I was able to actually play the music on the show, which was great. And then his best friend also ended up, showing me how to do stuff on the piano because he is a pianist, and then we ended up dating. That was my boyfriend for 5 years. So yeah, it was really great that music became such a part of my actual off-screen life as well through that show. So that was really nice for me.
Oh my gosh, no, and you're so talented too. I mean, you have a wonderful voice. I've watched your videos. I remember the show very well. Your career has been on a roll too, from Hollywood Heights, ABC daytime soap opera, One Life to Live, and then The Bay.
Yeah, well, I actually did One Life to Live before Hollywood Heights, which I'm
I stand
very
corrected.
glad. You're fine, but I'm very grateful I had that experience because One Life to Live was like the soap schedule is you do an episode a day. And that is not the norm for most of these projects that you see on TV. So I'm glad that I had that base to go off of because it was very overwhelming for a lot of people and still myself included. It was a very rigorous work schedule that we all loved what we were doing, but it was a lot of lines and it was a lot with the music in addition to it, and I like the whirlwind. I like just being so busy and like juggling a million things. So for me, I super loved it because I was used to that kind of rigorous schedule. So I'm very grateful for my experience at One Life to Live for sure.
That's amazing. Just some other actor friends and colleagues of ours. I mean, they start off and they say the same thing that you're saying, just about the training, and it really gets you regimented. And then you went into the Bay. She became friends with a lot of those guys like Christos and Gregory and Mike. Then you land that role.
And it was so great to have another family. Like I function very well in a community-based vibe and environment. So like I had that with One Life to Live, where I was there for 5 years, and we don't do seasons. So it's like, you're constantly with those people. And then you go to a show like Hollywood Heights and you get another film family. And then to be able to have that again in the Bay with everybody, same thing. Gregory was really good about hosting all of these events that he encouraged all of us to go to. And I'm so glad he did, because it was like a little mini reunion. Like once a month, we would just kind of all see each other outside of set. And it really created this very, very beautiful family in that environment as well. So I've been very fortunate.
There's such a great crowd too. I got to know Gregory and Christos. They've both been guests on the show. You really see that family element. And then my other friends like Kira Reed-Lorsch and Kate Linder, who's celebrating 40 years of Young and the Restless.
That's a lot.
Another soap alum, yeah.
Oh yeah.
And then Kira's one of my dear friends. Everyone calls us partners in crime.
I love that. She's always been a blast.
And then you and Christos, you two also worked together on the feature film The Killer in My Backyard.
Yeah, and that was our second. We also did a Christmas movie together, which was trippy to have like the worlds collide, but it was so great. And then we did another one, which was our first thriller together. And that was really fun because we were working with a lot of people that we had known for a while, the producers we knew, a lot of the cameramen we knew. So that was another kind of keeping it in the fam type of project. So I've been very fortunate that like even with the movies that I do, they tend to be their own little film families as well. We do a few together.
Well, absolutely. And I, another guilty pleasure of mine is Hallmark and Lifetime movies, which I know you star in a lot of them, and especially Christmas movies. I just love nothing like December. It's just, I get all the Christmas food. We get very festive. The Second Chance for Christmas, which you and Christos were in recently.
Yes, yeah, that was a really fun one because it was, the classic age-old story of A Christmas Carol and the three ghosts, and I got to be like the pop princess Scrooge, which was really fun. And they let me write a Christmas song for my character, and I'm really. I don't think we ever actually put that out on iTunes, but that was a really fun one that I think maybe this year we'll put it out. I get to keep it in my group of friends, which is great.
No, and I love your energy too, and how your friendships with your network of people that you work with. I just love the love and admiration that you show to your colleagues as well. We were actually both in this movie that I remember doing it years ago, and then it came out last year during the pandemic. It was directed by a childhood friend of mine, Mika Borum. It was called Hollywood.com.
Oh my God, I love Mika. You're childhood friends with Mika? Did
I
I
grew
know
up with
this?
Mika. Yeah, we were like running around the same circles. Her career was, she was doing all these big movies. She was young Drew Barrymore. She played Mel Gibson's daughter in The Patriot. Along came a Spider with Morgan Freeman. So she was like the cool girl who was in all these movies. And then we clicked again later on when she was focusing on directing. And I was actually on the set of feature film Jack and Cocaine. And she calls me out of the blue and says, "Hey, Kash, would you mind coming and doing a cameo for my movie?" And I'm like, we were filming in Venice. I'm like, let's do this. So I went, shot the cameo, and then it just happened to come out during the pandemic, and then Mika and I connected again. So it was just one of those things that was lined up. And then it was at a time when I kept seeing you showing up with all my friends in all these movies that we're talking about. So I'm like, wait, we've actually done a movie together.
Yes, which I love how small and interwoven this whole world is, and between both coasts too. Because I started in Jersey and New York, and coming to LA, and just I've run into so many people over and over again. And for me, that's like the best. That's the ultimate goal, the ultimate dream. Is all I ever want to do is make movies and TV shows with my friends. So I always tell my friends, you don't have to worry about, like, don't forget about me, because like you're all I want to work with. Like I want to see all of my friends come up together. So I always keep that in mind, even with my directing projects. Like I try and pitch my friends all the time. And with Mika was a friend of one of my One Life to Live castmates, Nick Roebuck, who is also a phenomenal actor. And he hooked me up with Mika. And Mika's another powerhouse female who I'm just like so proud. I have the women that I admire in my life, but Mika was very pivotal as well, because I saw her directing, and I had seen female directors on The Life to Live, but I hadn't really experienced that many of them in LA in a long period of time. I worked with someone on Hollywood Heights, and that was like right when I got to LA. But then it was a while till I worked with one again besides Mika. So I have a lot of respect for Mika, and I think we actually reconnected a few months ago, and I want to see her when I come out to LA, because I think she's incredible.
Oh, she's amazing. I know we still keep in touch too. She's always throwing ideas. Hey, Cash, what do you think of this? So yeah, so I can't wait for the stars to line up and we're all collaborating on our next project together.
Yeah, yeah, that's the best. It's just like, hey, got a project, let's just do it because we love each other. Woohoo.
I know that's all about the friendships, and I'm
Yeah.
with you on that too. I just love my network of friends. Between singing, acting, you've directed 6 films, and you just wrapped Baked with a Kiss.
Yeah, it's been a very wild ride, and I'm so grateful and always very fully aware of how blessed I have been with opportunities. I was able to direct 5 within my first year of directing, which I very much so owe to the people around me for believing in me and trusting me with these projects, and just giving me lots of lessons. I'm still learning as I go, and I hope to always learn as I go. Even as an actor, I feel like I'm constantly learning from the people around me, and I get to meet so many great people the more projects that I do. So to be able to have these like back to back projects is just like constant learning, and meeting new people and expanding the network. And I've met people that I'm like, I will carry you with me to the end, because I'm just so grateful. It's been very fortunate and lucky to have had those opportunities come to me in such a short period of time. So I'm always very grateful.
Is there anything about the film you can share with us?
Um, Yeah, it's about a baker, and she has these magical bakes, or at least that is what the town believes, that her pastries have these magical components where they can maybe influence or affect somebody in certain ways. And I think it's more so up to the audience whether they subscribe or believe that as the story unfolds, and what really is the magic that everybody feels in her pastries.
Okay, all right. I am intrigued and I'm a fan of your work. I know I'm going to be a fan of this one as
Oh.
well too. I heard that you're coming into town. You got this new project. I don't know how much you can talk about it, but you're coming back to LA soon?
Yes, I'm actually headed back to LA within the next few days. I am going to be working on a movie that I can't really say much about, but it's a horror thriller type of situation. And so I'm very excited. I'm going to be working with a production company I've worked with, both acted for and directed for. So it'll be nice to get back with that film family.
Amazing. I know we're in the same boat. I'm actually leaving tomorrow to go up north for a few days to film a horror movie as well too. When you're saying, wait, I'm coming to LA, I'm filming a horror, I'm like, are we on the same movie that we don't know
Ah,
about yet? But when you said it was
mine's
in LA, we're
actually
going
in
to
LA. Yeah. Yep.
Brittany, this has just been so much fun having you on. I've been a fan of your work and just talking to you too. I just really see your ambition, your generous spirit. I mean, generous spirit in the sense of just the respect that you have for your cast, your crew, the people that you work with. You don't half-ass anything. You go full force. Is there anything that you would like to share with your fans out there?
I would just like to encourage all of them. I get a lot of people that ask me, like, I've been wanting to do this, but I don't have, the means to do it. I think that when you already have kind of accepted that you're going to step into whatever role you want to, like I would say I was mentally a director about a year and a half before somebody actually said, hey, do you want to direct this? Because I was just like, I'm going to do that, and I already know that I'm going to do that because I want it that bad, and I'm already grateful for it, like before it happens. I would just encourage people to believe in themselves that much, that really it is up to you mentally to create these opportunities. You don't have to know where they're coming from, but like once you figure out what you want to do, don't let people tell you that you can't because of ABC. I know you hear it all the time, but like I just a girl from a small town in Jersey, just able to do what I wanted to do because I wasn't gonna accept no. So I just want everybody to have that same level of like, okay, I can do this.
Brittany, you've had an extraordinary career. I can't wait to see the next chapters of your life. It's going to be so long. You're going to have so many projects, so many things to talk about. You're welcome back here anytime you want to chat about what's going on with your career. And also this upcoming Christmas, I am looking forward to seeing your new film, but I do want to hear that song for Second Chance for Christmas. I want you to release
Yes,
that.
I will, and I'll let you know when it's coming out.
Absolutely. Please, everyone, give it up for Brittany Underwood, Baked with a Kiss. She just wrapped, coming out in a few months later this year, early next year. Brittany, again, I can't thank you enough for your time. You're someone who I truly admire and have respect for, and you keep continuing this epic career of yours.
Thank you so much, Kash, and thank you for having me on the show. And I just fully appreciate you taking the time even with me. So I fully appreciate you. Thank you.
I appreciate you anytime. Thank you so much for rocking out with me and Brittany Underwood today. You are on air with Kash.